Alright, welcome back to the channel. I was actually on TryHackMe just kind of looking around at some different boxes to go over, and I came across this basic pen testing that kind of looked a little bit interesting. Looks like John Hammond has a video out on it, and then he also throws out some credits to Josiah Pierce from Hub. So I thought this one looked interesting. We'll go ahead and jump into it, see how much we can tackle here. A couple things here that we got to fill in. Seems like it kind of guides you through the box just a little bit. I don't know if I would consider this a walkthrough style box. I think it's a little bit more of a challenge because it doesn't really tell you how to do anything. It's more or less just kind of alluding to what you should be doing next. So we'll go ahead and connect to the network. We've already done that. I'm going to use the tech box that they provide just to kind of keep things, standard. If I were to use my personal attack box, depending on what directories I have things in, tools and stuff, it might not really fit for people that are learning. So I think just to make it a fair playing field, I'll use their attack box. That way it's one size fits all for everyone. All right, so find the services exposed to the machine. All right, so why don't we just go ahead and jump in. All right, first things first, we always want to get the Nmap scan going. So we'll do a service scan, and then we'll run some scripts against it as well. Did I grab that IP address? Oh, hold on. Let's throttle it with a 4. That way it moves a little quicker. So, see if you guys can see this. What is it? Control plus plus? I feel like I've tried that in the past and it didn't work. At least, doesn't work in here. I don't know. Just keep doing this. All right, hopefully that's big enough. Everyone can see. All right, we'll do an Nmap scan. We're going to target the services that are running on the ports. We're going to run some scripts against those. Basically, just check for some basic vulnerabilities on the ports that are open from the information that we are able to fingerprint. T4 is going to throttle with 4, 5 being the fastest, 1 being the slowest. This is kind of an even ground here, and we'll just go with that. We'll see what's going on. While that's going, I'll probably just visit port 80 because I feel like most times that's running. So find the services exposed to the machine. We'll get that soon enough. What is the name of the hidden directory on the web server? Okay, so there is a web server running. So we might as well just hit what's going on here? Hold on. Okay, we done? I feel like I keep losing the mouse. Where'd it go? There we go. All right, that's weird. All right, so the Nmap scan already finished. That was pretty quick. I need to grab that IP anyways. Copy. All right, so we got 22 open for SSH. We've got 80 open. That was already expected. We got 139 and 445 running Samba. 8009. I'm not really sure what that is. Looks like some Apache JServe thing. I'm not too familiar with that. And then it's also running 8080. Looks like it's just picking up some Tomcat stuff. I have a feeling that's just a basic landing page. We'll go ahead and check that out. Some other information here because I ran the scripts. We are seeing that there's some basic NetBIOS stuff. We were able to get the fully qualified domain name. Not sure that will help much. Okay. All right, well, I got that IP. Where did my Firefox go? I feel like when you use their attack box too, this like side menu doesn't really pop out as well as it should. I don't know if there's a hotkey for it, but my attack box, I don't have this, so I'm not really too familiar with how that operates. So let's hit up 80. Okay, we're undergoing maintenance. Please check back. We'll go ahead, check the page source as always. Undergoing maintenance, please check back. And we have a comment here. So it says check your dev note section if you need to know what to work on. Okay. So this, going back to that whole eluding, they did say there's a hidden directory on the web server. So, and they're saying check dev. So why don't we, I have a feeling, okay, not found, dev, what else could we do? Developer, okay, nothing. All right, well, at this point, we know that we have some opportunities to brute force these directories. Let me just organize things here. This will be nmap. We'll make this GoBuster maybe? Is GoBuster on here? I feel like GoBuster is probably, yeah, okay. We'll just use GoBuster because that's on this. So we'll go ahead and brute force. We'll do GoBuster dir u http / that IP address. What just happened? Did I accidentally copy that? The word list we'll use. Hopefully this is big enough to... There we go. User, share, word list. We'll do seclist. Where is that usually? Is it directory? Discovery, and then web content. And then I think the one I'm looking for is common. Yeah. All right, so what we're going to do is we'll run GoBuster. It's going to brute force up until this slash here in that HTTP. Sorry, I'm like drawing a blank here. It's been a long day. We're going to brute force this area is basically what we're getting at. And then we're going to use the word list common. Okay, so we found development. So I originally tried dev, didn't work. Tried developer, didn't work. Apparently they named it development. So let's go to that directory. We'll go ahead and copy this. Oh, I opened that by accident instead of copy. And we'll paste that in here and see what we get. All right, so we found the index for development, which is, there's two files in here. We have dev and we have j. I'll just open these in new tabs so we can look at both of them. Okay, so the first one is dev.txt. We've got Apache set up. we'll put in our content later. That's from Jay. So Jay signed this. Looks like there's a conversation between Jay. There's a conversation between K and K. SMB has been configured. I've been messing around with the strut stuff, and it's pretty cool. I think it might be neat to host on the server. I haven't made any real web apps yet, but I tried that example that you showed off and how it works, and it's the REST version of the example. Oh, and right now I'm using version 2.5.12 because other versions were giving me trouble. Okay, so there might be something going on with like REST APIs or something. And they're running a version for 2.5.12, but I think that's related to the strut stuff. I don't know. We'll just kind of keep this in mind, but at least we know here that we're dealing with potentially user J, user K. I think is the biggest takeaway from this. For J, I've been auditing the contents of Etsy Shadow to make sure we don't have any weak credentials, and I was able to crack your hash really easily. All right, so that's a key point that we're going to have to keep in mind here. I'm not sure that there's much value in the other note that we had, except for the fact that we now know J and K. This one is probably going to hold some credibility. So we know that they were able to crack the hash. The guy's not following password policy and wants him to change password. So let's see here. What can we do next? I think going back to the Nmap scan, 22 was open. We already checked 80. So there was 80, 80. Let's see if there's anything relevant on that. So to check that, we'll just do colon 80, 80. Yeah, and it's just a normal Apache Tomcat landing page. Nothing too relevant here other than there's a little bit of a version. Oh, what am I saying? That's like really it. Basically, the only thing that we can look at is either this 8009 or these Samba ports. I'm going to go straight for the Samba because usually that's low-hanging fruit. I feel like this is probably a rabbit hole if we were to look at whatever this Apache thing is. Without dragging this along, let's go ahead and hit that. Which actually, by the way, hold on, before we get too far, let's look at any of these answers. Okay, so this was development. Did I spell it wrong? Development. What is your username? Or what is the username? Did we figure that out? No, we didn't get a username yet. We just got Jan or J and K. Okay, so we'll keep that in mind. I think we're getting close to figuring out the username. All right, let's go ahead and enumerate this Samba that's running. So you could use Nmap, which, you know, Nmap scripts for SMB and num, which is for the most part pretty much what we got here, I believe. So why don't we go ahead and use like SMB map? I keep forgetting this IP. Let's grab this guy. All right. And then, okay, so apparently SMB map is not installed on this. All right, that's a little odd. So we could do, what's the other one? Enum for Linux? They don't have SMB map installed on here. Okay, it is what it is. All right, so let's do enum for Linux. I assume that's on here. Yeah, we get a help menu. We'll do, what is it? All right, do all simple enumeration. Looks good. All right, we'll run A, and then see what we get here. Oh, hold on, this is still running, but we got some usernames there. I think it said J and K. That was funny, it paused right on it. So we've got J and K. All right, let's take a look. Stuff that's running, built-in admin, user guest, power users, that's all kind of standard stuff. Go through all this mess to the next title. Where's the next title? Basic none. We already knew that the name of it was basic from the nmap scan, if you remember. That was the fully qualified domain name. I'm just gonna label this so we know. This was num for Linux. Okay, J and K are the users. So we've got J and K. Okay, we're running an IPC service. And anonymous. So what we can do then is we could almost try to connect to this. We'll try to connect to the anonymous share first that we're seeing here. And then we'll go from there. So in order to do that, we will use SMB client, which I hope they have installed. We'll do SMB client / IP address / anonymous. Right, I spelled that correctly. Looks good. Password shouldn't really matter if it's... Okay, all I did was hit enter. I didn't enter a password at all. Looks like it gave us a prompt. Well, ls, and there's a staff text there. Access denied. I think I should be able to get it, right? And then maybe just read it off of the attack box. Yeah, it looks like it worked. Make that bigger again for you guys. Next time I'll set this up a little bit better so I don't have to keep doing this. Okay. Now I'm on the attack box prompt here. Let's just do yeah, staff. So it downloaded staff correctly. So we connected to this anonymous share and it let us download it. So now we can go ahead and cat that out. All right, it says announcement to staff. Please do not upload non-work related items to the share. I know it's all fun, but this has some mistakes. This means you too, Jan, signed K. So sounds like K is kind of the owner of this asset. So let's try K. Okay, I guess they want Jan. So we're starting with Jan. All right, what is the password? All right, well, that's pretty quick. So they're jumping right into things. So for passwords, we got to look for... Oh, hold on, so there's nothing else on here. That's it, just this file. Can you even like change directory this way? Yeah, no, we're already at. Does that even work? Yeah, okay. All right, I think I'm getting a little off topic. So I think we're kind of at a dead end here. We got some information. We now know that we're dealing with a K and J. That was the conversations that were going on that we saw previously. I think it's time to go back to Nmap. I don't think anything really comes of this. I don't know. We could try it. I just don't think it's relevant. Maybe it is. Yeah, this connection was reset. I don't really know much about that port. We'd have to do some research and try to figure out if it's even doing anything. It does support get head post options, but I was sitting here running curl a bunch against it. I don't think we're really going to get much. What could we brute force? I wonder if we could just brute force 22 with Jan since we had... Oh, yeah, duh, that might work. They said that Jan needed to change the password because it was really easy to crack. So let's go after 22. Let's do it. Okay. Set title. We'll just do this. SSH Jan. Wait, we don't have a password. What am I trying to do? Hydra L. No, is it I? No, lowercase L. I always get that mixed up. And then we'll what? Use RockU. User share, wordless. RockU. Alright, what did I do wrong? Oh wait, I didn't specify the service or anything. Alright. SSH. What is this again? 10.10.97.186. That should do it. I'll let that run. Okay, I don't know how long this is going to take. What else could we look at in the meantime? Can we answer any of those? What's the password? What service do you use to access the answer? Answer in all caps. What service do you use to access the server? Oh, that might be SSH. Enumerate the machine to find out any vectors for privilege escalation. Oh. User brute forcing to find username password. Oh, I didn't even read that. Alright, we can complete that one. We got anything yet? Nothing yet. Wonder what this is. We can look at that real quick. Apache JServe on 80.09. It's a binary proxy. It's a binary protocol that can proxy inbound requests from a web server. All right, yeah, so that I don't think that's going to do us any good. It's just a proxy for the web server. Looks like there is a hack tricks for it though. Nothing yet. I could have used -V to make this verbose, but I kind of wanted to keep all the mess out of there. Just a FYI. Ghost cat. Oh, anything? Anything? Nothing yet. I don't know, this vulnerability looks a little too in-depth for this box, I have a feeling. I'm not really sure how this would fit in with like a capture the flag. Jeez, I didn't think this brute force would take this long. So let's see if we're missing anything. Okay, so we'll keep in mind. Okay, I guess essentially we're already kind of doing this. More or less, they were just saying that your password was too weak. So this is kind of irrelevant now. We know that. Anything else in here? Index. I think we already kind of saw this on the home page, but let's see. Oh man, I get tired. Yeah, that was just the home page. Okay, Hydra. Come on. All right, we got one. That took a while. So, Jan and Armando. So Armando's our password. I believe that was one of the questions. Yep, what is your password? Armando. Or I guess Armando? Armando? What service did you use that was SSH that we just brute forced? Enumerate the machine to find any vectors for privilege escalation. Okay. This is where things are starting to get interesting. So now we can log in. So we'll do SSH at Jan 10.10. What was it? 97.186. Yes. Password Armando, and we're in. All right. So print working directory. We're in Jan's home. ls al. Okay, all there is a .less file. I don't even know that we'll be able to read that. Yeah, access denied. Oh, right, yeah, because only root has rewrite. What about sudo l? We need Jan's password. Sorry. So hi, they knew we were coming. Sorry, user Jan may not run sudo. Okay. Let's just keep working with what we got here. What if we do a ls home? All right, let's change directory into K. Let's just enumerate this. All right, K's got some stuff on here. So, okay, so this is kind of what I was saying before, where I was thinking that this was K's device, you know, like her machine, his machine, whatever. His, her, I don't know. And that's kind of the route that this is looking, because obviously there's some stuff here where there wasn't for Jan. So, we've got bash history. Will it even let us look at that? Bash. Permission denied. We could do bash rc, see if we get anything. It does say that we have read, whether or not it's relevant. Yeah, nothing here. What else we got? Nano. We got pass back. So like a password backup? Let's see that. Cat. Pass back. Permission denied. Okay, hold on. Profile is probably irrelevant. Sudo as admin successful. I don't really think that that's going to be anything. Yeah. All right, so we got SSH. Oh, duh, that's a directory. And we have an ID RSA. All right, sweet. So I kind of see where they're going with this. That's the ID. That's the certificate, the RSA certificate to SSH into the machine as K. So if we can log in as K, we should have some root privileges here. So what we will do is, can I just cat that? Okay, cool. So we have a certificate here that we can work with. We'll go ahead and copy this whole thing. Copy. And then on our machine, we'll do nano. And then I'll call this file ID RSA. I'll just leave it at that so it doesn't get all confusing. ID RSA. We'll paste in all the information here. We'll write that out. Control X. Save. Whoa. What the hell? I just started typing. I don't know what that did. Here, cancel. Let's start over. Write that out. Y, yes. Save. Okay. Now if I do an ls, I should see it here. There it is. ID RSA cat, just to make sure it looks good, and it looks good. There has been times in the past where I've had these paste incorrectly and there's spaces in between each line. That'll screw things up. So it has to look like this. You got your beginning and then your end, and everything's kind of squished together. The only space you're going to have is in between the advanced encryption, algorithm that they got going on here. So we've now catted this out. We've copied it. We've created essentially our own ID RSA certificate. Now we can potentially brute force it using John. So what I'll do is, before we can do that, we have to take that certificate and turn it into a hash file that John knows how to manipulate. So to do that, it's usually SSH to John. Is that even like on here? Where am I at? Okay, I see John here. So this is John the Ripper. And there, it looks like on the attack box in the OPT file, John the Ripper's here among some other tools. So we'll change into John. All right, here's all the stuff. So we've got SSH to John here. And then we'll have to do, how does this work again? It's been a while since I've done this. First up, will that even run? Okay, it did. It is running. It just, I didn't provide anything, so it doesn't know what to do. So where was that? Shoot, did I clear the screen? I cleared this freaking screen. All right. Oh, let's just open a new one. Where did I dump that? Ah, it saved the frickin'... Did I... Hold on, I'm trying to find where I put the stupid ID RSA. What? How did I lose it? Where was I? Okay, there it is. It was in... So there's two different routes. There's... Okay. Alright, so this is going to be root ID RSA. There we go. Alright, so we're running the tool. We're telling it to use this path to our file. And then we need to tell it to output that to a hash. So I'll just call it ID RSA hash.txt. I guess I don't need to do that. If I'm putting the .txt, I'll just know that it's the hash. Let's go ahead and do that. All right. Let's just go back to the root directory to make things simple. Cat ID dot, just to make sure this worked. Oh, jeez. I'm getting tired. I'm getting real sloppy. It's past 10 o'clock. It's been a long day. I have to go back into this. That's not where we put the output for this file. This is where we put it. So I should have stayed there. And then we'll cat ID. All right, there it is. There's our hash. This is what it did. So it just converted it into a hash. This hash is what John the Ripper will understand. And we should be able to run John against it now. So if we do John hash txt, and then we'll do word list equals user share word list. What, rock you again? Hopefully this one cracks faster than Hydra. Where's the password? I'm wondering if it doesn't like this. I keep wanting to put. Let's get rid of that. Output. Yes. Save. Run it again. Beeswax. There. That's weird. It did the hash, but then kept like the directory in the name. I don't know why that is. Alright, so beeswax is the next password. This is turned into a little bit of a long one. I thought it'd be a little quicker. Alright, what is... Okay, enumerate the machine. Find any vectors for privilege escalation. So that's the ID RSA that we found. What is the name of the other user? All lowercase. That was K. If you have found another user, what can you do with the information? Okay, maybe that was the ID RSA that they're alluding to. And then what is the final password you obtain? So we're basically at the end. All right, let's go ahead and log in. I'll do this as SSHK so we stay organized here. I'll clear the screen. SSHK at 1010. What was it? 97.186. Beeswax. Watch, it doesn't work. Fuck. Come on. Oh. Oh, no. We're supposed to use the we're supposed to use the ID, the RSA certificate. It doesn't know. Okay, so here, we'll do ID RSA. What is it? It's been a while since I've done this. Little rusty. And then I think it's K at 1010 97.186. Ha ha ha. Beeswax. All right, well, it's yelling at us that the permissions are too open on that file. So how do you do that? Is it this? Now try it. Oh, I think that worked. Yeah, okay. So I had to change the permissions on it to 600. In order for that to work. I honestly can't quite remember what 600 means, other than I think it basically just specifies like only that user can run it. Let's see. If I recall correctly, some of this stuff you just get used to doing it and you kind of forget like what you're even. Yeah, only the owner of the file has full rewrite. So then if it were to stay 44, what does that mean? You can read and write the file or directory and other users can. So yeah, it just doesn't like the fact that other users would have permissions to run it, because obviously that would defeat the whole purpose of a certificate. So okay, we're on here now, we're logged in. This is the same directory that we saw before. Now we're just in as K, and if we remember, we didn't have permissions to read this, so I think we can now. There it is. We cracked the box. I'm pretty sure this is the last one. Congratulations. All right. Well, I hope you enjoyed that one. Hopefully it wasn't too slow. I had a couple mess ups there. Hopefully they weren't too confusing, but I think we kind of moved our way past them. But yeah, otherwise, that was the basic pen testing box on TryHackMe. So feel free to like, subscribe, and share. Comment down below, and I'll see you next time.